Welcome to the Out of Bounds podcast. This is your host, Jabril McKeithen. Just wanted to shout out Anchor real quick. Thank you guys, Anchor. If you guys don't know what Anchor is a free streaming website. It allows you to create and edit your own podcast right from your phone, y'all. Right from your phone or your computer, whichever one y'all choose to do. It is free, which is who doesn't love free, man? Who don't love free? But Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you on streaming sites such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many other podcasting sites that you probably don't know about or just are unaware about. If you didn't know, also, Anchor will allow you to make a little bit of money from your podcast as well, which is always a great thing. We love to do that. It's basically just everything you need to make a podcast. It's just right in there. If you guys are interested, go check it out. Download the free Apple or Anchor app, and then you can go to anchor.fm to get started and start editing your stuff. All right, y'all. Let's get into the podcast with your host, Jabril McKeithen. Welcome to the Out of Bounds podcast. Podcast with your host, Jabril McKeithen. I know it's been a little bit of time since we last met, but we're back in action. We're here for y'all, trying to drop some more videos for y'all. So let's get into today. As I said, if you guys are new, if you guys are just tuning in for the first time, mostly we'll be talking about Sixers basketball, but in the beginning we'll look around the league a little bit, see what's going on. But first things first, if you guys didn't know, in the Sixers perspective, we signed Anthony Tolliver to a 10-day contract. He has yet to play with us. He's a game-time decision for the Brooklyn Nets game tomorrow, which, if you guys don't know, this will probably be one of the biggest games for the Eastern Conference for Sixers fans personally, because we'll be matching up with Kyrie. I'm not sure if Kyrie's going to be playing. I think James Harden is still injured, but KD will be there, and then we'll be able to see the Kyrie and KD, the original Brooklyn Nets, what they're supposed to be looking like. So that's going to be fun. They're playing at 7, if you guys didn't know. So definitely got to tune into that, see what's going on with that. And yeah, as I said, back to Anthony Tolliver. Sorry, messed up his name a little bit. Let's get into him a little bit. 10-day contract, as I said. So we'll see if he ends up getting a fully guaranteed contract for our season. His career averages, he hasn't played this season yet. He's been a free agent. But his career averages so far, 6.2 points per game and then 3.3 rebounds. The thing about Anthony Tolliver, if you guys didn't know, he is a great three-point shooter. 37% from the field for his career. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be a great stretch 5 for us. Stretch 4, he might replace Mike Scott. He's been a little bit inconsistent. Even in the game last night, we saw that. So we'll see what Anthony Tolliver has left to the table. He is 35 years of age, so don't expect too much from the brother, but I'm sure he can produce a little bit. A couple games back when we played him last year, he was hitting good shots. Able to knock down the 3 a little bit, which is definitely what our team needs. We need to be able to put some spacing on the floor, especially for Joel Embiid, the MVP, if you guys didn't watch last night. But let's get into the game last night against the Mavs. This is going to be a great stretch of games for us, which are all nationally televised, if you guys didn't know. So tune into the Sixers games, see how we're playing, especially with a full healthy roster, full healthy rotation. George Hill should hopefully be coming back soon, but there is still no timetable on his return. But let's get into the game against the Mavs, y'all. Let's get it. All right. So in the beginning, started off a little slow. The game was pretty competitive. Back and forth buckets. What do you guys like, man? No blowouts in the first quarter, nothing like that. Everyone's getting their points. Joel Embiid was being a beast, a force of nature to be reckoned with. Barbecue chicken here, honey lemon pepper freestyle by Drake on the left side, So it was great to see that. He was causing havoc. All their big men couldn't guard him. KP was out, if you guys didn't know. And it was just, I know the Mavs were coming in there shaking in their boots. I know they were when they found out KP wasn't playing, because Joel Embiid is a monster. They had Maxi Kleber on him, which was terrible. They had Willie Cauley-Stein on him. We'll get into him later, but let me shout that brother out real quick. Thank you for unleashing the beast. Thank you, my brother. But he had him on him. Boban Marjanovic, who was the former Sixer, couldn't do nothing about that. Hit a whole bunch of mid-ranges on him, took it to the paint, driving on him, doing everything he possibly could against him. And they had Dwight Powell on him as well. And there's just no answer for Joel Embiid on that Mavericks team, especially if Kristaps Porzingis is out. So knowing that, I was kind of happy to see that. I knew Joel Embiid would eat during this game. And yeah, first quarter was looking good. My biggest issue in the first quarter was the defense, especially with the pick and roll. Luka Doncic was getting a whole bunch of picks, and Ben Simmons was supposed to be on him, but they ended up switching that, and Tobias Harris would get on him, and it just wasn't as good as a matchup as Ben Simmons. So they ended up fixing that towards more in the other 3 quarters, or in the second and third quarter. The starters didn't even play in the fourth, so it was good to see that. But Sixers were off to a good start. They started to get a little bit of separation. Furkan Korkmaz came off the bench and started being a beast. What the fuck is what I was saying the whole time, man. That brother's a baller, 3-point specialist. I'm really liking what he's translating into. The announcers are saying hopefully he is I don't know if he's restricted or unrestricted free agent this season, but after this season he is a free agent. So hopefully we end up re-signing him. Hopefully he keeps balling out. He had 20 points the last game that we played as well. So it's nice to see the brother being able to step up and put an impact on the team, because we need it. We honestly need it. But yeah. His defense has also improved, if you guys haven't known, if you guys haven't seen, and that's especially great to see from him. But in the second quarter, Furkan had 9, and him and Joel Embiid basically took over in the second. Definitely one of the main scorers, one of the reasons we were able to get some separation in the second. So, as I keep saying, just keep playing good, Furkan. You becoming one of my favorites, We got Shake up there as well. Shout out to the brother. He played pretty good as well, especially in that point guard position. So it was nice to see all of them, the bench unit especially, get into a little bit of a flow, being able to get their points and do good in that. So in the second, that's when things really got bad for the Mavericks, y'all. That's when things really started getting bad. They put Willie Cauley-Stein on him, and if you guys didn't see the play, this is the play that started it all. Willie Cauley-Stein kind of just brought him to the ground, pulled him to the ground a little bit, and I seen that fire in Joel Embiid's eyes. He was like, nah, I ain't having none of that. And he went at the man and finished with 23 in the first half. And I can tell you that this man is a bucket with a skinny 7-foot guy like Willie Cauley-Stein on him. Brother looks like PNB Rock, and it looked like it was an unfair mismatch on that court. But maybe he has a singing career on the side, but I doubt it. But he's 7 foot, so that's why he's in the NBA right now. But he is not a match for Joel Embiid, and we find that out this game. But that's just the second quarter. Halftime came. My thing was we got to keep doing defense. Got to keep being able to score, keep being consistent on the court. And, yeah. Also, J.J. Redick played in this game. Shout out to him, because he was one of the Sixers during that Heat run, or not Heat run. The Sixers run, we went up against the Raptors in that unfortunate Game 7, so it's nice to see him out there. He had a pretty rough start. He finished with, I believe it was only 4 points off of 1 of 7 shooting. Yep, and that was all for that. J.J. Redick, y'all. But let's get into the third quarter. Joel Embiid showing the MVP that he is, getting in everybody's face, hitting the little step back splash, simple. It's easy for Joel Embiid, man. This is why he's the MVP. He is one of the most dominant players in this game, and you guys can see that in this game. The Mavs absolutely had no answer for him. No big man could stop him. They even double-teamed him, and he's hitting fadeaway shots. Hitting fadeaways in the Mavs center like he's Dirk Nowitzki, like he took over, like he the European brother now. But he was playing good. He was on fire, and absolutely nobody could stop him. And we really started getting a lot of separation. We had a 12-point lead at the end of the half, and then we ended up being up 20. Great defense was being played. Matisse Thybulle was playing great defense, great steals. Furkan Korkmaz was playing great defense. Danny Green came in, played great defense. Ben Simmons, this is a defensive team, as you guys all know. Once they're all locked in, who can beat them on defense, honestly? We'll see what the Nets can do, but I think we're good enough to stop them. We'll see. We just got to wait and see if that's true. And we really started getting the separation after a couple of Danny Green threes, straight back-to-back, and that's when it was over with. The third quarter really they got us to separation. We finished with a 20-point lead, and that was the best thing to see from us. And then after that, the Joel Embiid took a seat, and that's all she wrote. The bench came in, and they were playing great. Dwight Howard came off the bench, and Dwight Howard, Shake Milton, Mike Scott, Tyrese Maxey, all of them guys, they played good. Especially Furkan, as I said, he dropped 20 in this game. And then Joel Embiid finished with 36 and 14 to 15 from the free throw line. And people might have a problem with Joel Embiid going to the free throw line. Maybe he's getting too many calls, but if you're watching the game, you can see why he's getting all these calls. These are obvious fouls. There was literally no big man that could stop him. And right now we're on a 2-game win streak. We're ahead of the Nets for a first seed in the Eastern Conference. Gotta love that. And right now, if the playoffs were to start today, we end up playing the Knicks. That's an iffy one. Do I really want the Knicks? I know the Celtics are that 7 seed. I'm rooting for the Knicks to win a little bit of more games because that's just going to be a defensive scrappy game, just like in the last podcast episode I talked about. Very scrappy. Tom Thibodeau is making them play great defense. Julius Randle's hooping. Nerlens Noel, Mitchell Robinson, they're going to be a presence to deal with. But other than that, y'all, the Mavs got dominated. Like, Luka Doncic had 32, but it didn't even feel like he had 32. I was sitting the whole game like, how many points he had? I checked in at halftime, he had 20, and it felt like a useless 20. And I was like, damn, like, is he even on the floor? But shout out Ben Simmons. He's the guy. Let me tell y'all how many he finished with. The beast, man. Finished with a whopping 8 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. What a guy. He claims he wants to be the greatest defensive player. So, I don't know. Are we going to get offense from him? I'm not sure. Still no 3-point attempts, so I don't know what we're going to get from him besides hopefully we get more than 8 in the playoffs, though. So, we just got to wait for the playoffs, honestly. I'm kind of worried just because if Ben Simmons plays like this. I don't know how far we're going to get because this is kind of ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous at this point. 8 points damn sure isn't acceptable. I'll take the 7 assists, though. I'll take the 7 assists, even though he is supposed to be the point guard. Kind of like seeing the 10 assists. The 6 rebounds, whatever. And he shot 2 of 6 from free throw line. He says he's been improving, but I'm sure there's still plenty of room for improvement there. But Ben Simmons, please step it up. This is another message for you. Please step it up. I know what you're capable of. That's the only reason why we're bringing it out. We know what you can do on defense, but we need to see the offense as well. We would love the offense. Say you come out of here 20 points. You could be a 20-point per game scorer. I can see that. Tobias Harris finished with 10 tonight. Kind of a rough shooting night for him, 4 of 11. But I'm sure that's going to get fixed. I'm not too worried about Tobias. He stepped up this year. Should have been an all-star this year, in my opinion. But other than that, turnovers were minimized. We held the Mavericks under 95 points. So I can't really be mad. The defense was there. We were playing great. And as I said, we're first in the Eastern Conference. And tomorrow we play against the Nets. They'll be coming off a back-to-back to the Timberwolves today. So hopefully they're a little fatigued, a little tired, maybe not too ready. But we'll see. I'm sure they're going to be just as hyped up as we are. I know Joel Embiid will be ready to beast on LaMarcus Aldridge or whoever they try to throw his way. Either way, barbecue chicken, lemon pepper wings. Shout out Drake. Yeah, So let's get ready for tomorrow, y'all. But that's really all to talk to y'all about today. Mavs game, we won 113-95. We looked great. Offense was flowing amazing. Defense was definitely up there. Held the turnovers. I feel like turnovers is one of our biggest problems, especially with Ben Simmons. He only had 1 turnover. In the other video, I said maybe he has a turnover problem, but maybe he doesn't. But yeah, other than that, y'all, I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you for tuning into Out of Bounds podcast. If you guys want, you can follow my social media. I did just start a new TikTok for the Out of Bounds page. It's on TikTok. It's called Out of Bounds Pod. You can just look it up. You'll see a picture of me on there, and that's how you know it's that. Also have an Instagram for the page, Out of Bounds Jabril. Tune in if you guys want to follow my main socials, Jabril McKeithen. That's the same on Twitter and Instagram. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys like the content that you're watching. Be sure to drop some more videos for y'all next week. Thank you. Have a good one.